I was blessed that I was able to allow somebody to meet me and get to know who I was, not just the label that was slapped on me.
I could be going through the worst moment in my life, and when I step in there, it's like everything goes away.
I figured out that if I did this line cook training, I could have a stable job, find housing, and take care of myself and my kids the way that I wanted to.
It seems like they don't believe people can change. People can change.
People need to know when they come out of prison that others can respect their voice. Our mission is very simple. It's to reduce incarceration, promote reintegrative justice, and to provide the advocacy that will change the system.
We might have something like an arranger track, right? What the arranger track does is basically, just say you want to have your hook twice at the beginning of the song, or you want to just have the hook once at the end of the verse. You don't have to cut and move things around. You can use the arranger track. So this is the verse. Let's check this out. I've been inside the correctional facilities for about 6 years. I met Brandon in Rikers Island. At that point, we could kind of figure out, all right, what's the best way to do it? We can go to verse, then hook, or hook, then verse. Now watch.
Yeah, it's about to, is he gonna say this right? Nah, that's fire, bro!
See what I'm saying?
Hold on.
And that's just without cutting anything.
Yo, that's fire, bro! Word to, hold on, let me see.
So what I'm saying is that we can do different arrangements. What I do is I go into the correctional facilities and teach the basics of music production.
You just see a man walk in with a big book bag. He backs out a laptop. After the laptop, you see it with headphones.
Frequencies and tempos. Exactly.
It's crazy because it's like, how is he in here with studio equipment? Like, you don't see where we at right now? Like, we're in Rikers Island. What do you mean? Like, I have to like record and go like this every two seconds. Like,
re-entry is often misconstrued. People have a very narrow interpretation of re-entry. They just think re-entry is when they open the door. When in fact, re-entry is more of a process. Young people coming home from secure detention or Rikers come home with a range of needs. And so the idea behind NextGen was to put together a network of organizations that have a presence within these detention centers and on Rikers, because they're already in the middle of things. They're already developing relationships, and we want to be able to further those relationships in the interest of serving the person who's coming home.
For NextGen came about, Brandon, he was one of the first people I thought of. I was like, oh, perfect, because now that I have a support system to help me help him support his vision. I was doing this by myself for years, and what CCA has done is the way I help the students, it feels like they're helping Audio Pictures in the same way. The same patience, the same dedication, the same insight.
He's a barber, Marlon. Like, I know, he used to cut my hair on 145th.
that's his pops.
That's your father?
We're located in the heart of New York City, in Manhattan. And it's like a rooftop home studio that's away from home. So when they come here and they see a familiar face from the facility, they're like, oh, that's Ryan. They see me, and automatically they're allowed to see what's possible.
I'm top 5 and I'm locked in. You still moving like you just clocked in. You fake, that's the reason why you on my block list. Hate made me cut off all other options.
I step into the studio and I'm inside that booth. It's my home. The world outside of this room right here doesn't even matter. Get what I'm saying? He brought that feeling to jail. He made me forget about everything that was going on, and he brought me back home while I was still not a free man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, coming home and still being here next to him, it just made it like, let's go, let's keep going. We got more in front of us now, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what it is.
The beauty of the network is that we have these mentors that are there to so that young people don't feel like they're alone and that they're going through this alone. They have someone that they can turn to who is gonna give them experience. Oftentimes our mentors are individuals who have had an experience with the criminal legal system, who may have been impacted themselves, and so they're in a better position to help young people make informed decisions about their situations. And we just wanna continue to do more of what we're doing because we're seeing the impact. We're seeing individuals who are making significant strides in the right direction, and we want to be able to support that. We want to be able to be there to support those steps.
CCA is very important to people who are getting out because it gives them hope, it gives them opportunities that they wouldn't have. Because a lot of people look at a felon and they think, oh, you know, there's a person that's not worth it and you know, they're just gonna be trouble. My husband died when my kids were younger and kind of sent me into a loop. I ended up getting into drugs and made some bad choices. When I got out of prison, I really had to buckle down and figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Penny came to the line cook training program through CCA. She was quiet. You would barely even know she was in the room sometimes. As she learned and as she became more confident, she just wanted more. She took what we had here and ran with it.
We're really excited about the line cook training because the industry is just a good place for folks who have experienced barriers due to a criminal background to be able to thrive. Because it's really a place where if you can do the job, you're going to be able to move forward.
Our main goal is to give people entry-level positions in the food service industry. We're looking to fill some of the positions of, say, pantry, prep, fry stations, a little bit of grill. Most restaurants don't care what you've done, they care that you showed up and you can do the job.
The line cook training program was about 2 months, 10 weeks, and at the end, a whole bunch of different restaurants came in and you could do interviews with them, and within a day, I'd gotten a job here.
As soon as she came here, her work ethic and the sense of caring and the ability to critically think and say, how do I solve this problem? What do I need to do to fix it? Really, even amongst a very talented kitchen staff here, made her stand out.
My job when I first came in was line cook, and I started out just working the line, learning all the foods we make, and learned all the stations, and became manager eventually.
What CCA offers through the line training program is a chance to make a better future. We all want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And I think that this gives them the latitude to really be part of something that's bigger than just themselves.
I like hard work. I was a construction worker before, and I like hard work. And I get to do that here, and I get to be proud of the things that I do when people come back and they say that was a great meal. They're really happy with it. I was a part of that, and that's really nice.
I went to McDonald's, filled out an application, had the person that was doing the interview laughing and smiling. Well, I don't think we can hire you because you have a very serious criminal record. Well, I said, thank you, man. If you do change your mind, I would really appreciate it. And it was nice talking to you, and you have a blissful day.
When I got out, I thought, I would apply for jobs and easily get a job, and it took like 73 applications or so. I would get to the interviews, and once that came up, that was it. I applied for colleges, and I thought I was just gonna be able to get into OCC, a community college around here, and it wasn't that easy. I was getting turned down because of my criminal record.
Most people have this image of people coming home from prison or people who have been incarcerated at any point in time. There's this big stigma. There's this big cloud over their head, like they're always gonna be bad and irredeemable. This is not the case.
I'm not a role model, but I can stop a young person from going to jail by letting them know my experience. I took so much from society. Give me a chance to give back to society. No, you wanted to put these paper handcuffs on me so I can't do my purpose, what I need to do.
In New York State, just alone, there's 2.3 million New Yorkers who are affected with these economic barriers for housing, education, employment.
Those are people who are forced to go into social services and welfare. They don't want to be a burden on society or in the communities, but they're forced to because they're not given this opportunity to compete. Any landlord, any employer, any creditor, any prospective educator, right, can just press a button and have access to your history and your background. What this clean slate legislation system would do. It would remove the ability for these people to access that information.
For me, it would mean that I could apply to whichever college I want for my master's degree and have a fair chance of getting in. It would open doors that have just closed in my face that I never thought would open. I'll feel like I'm finally free.
Okay, I have a criminal record. It's over 20, 30 years old already. How long are you going to keep these handcuffs on me? I can't breathe.
When I found out about the clean slate bill, I was like, I cried for days. I'm like, I can't believe anybody even cares about people like me, you know?